So I finally just received an email that I've been waiting a few days for. I was watching the Tone Kings live stream on Saturday, and he alluded to the fact that they'll be releasing their new Badlands guitar at some point in the next few days. So I've been checking my emails a couple of times, maybe refreshing, once or twice, nothing too crazy. But finally it's come through, and I'm excited to have a look at what it is they're going to be bringing out. We've got a really good idea of what it is anyway, but if you've been watching their live streams. And it's actually especially exciting because Ibanez have just released their lineup for the 2024 NAMM show, and it's not for me, it's kind of disappointing for me. And then Schecter's newest release, the Razor Blade, great. So this is something that I can actually be excited about. Okay, so this email, introducing the BGC custom colour series. They've shown 3 different colours that they've been not so discreetly showing off in their live streams. I love each colour. I think if I had to pick a favourite, I'd go white, then the red, then the silver. It's priced at $24.99, which I think we knew it was going to be around that sort of price, a few $100s less than the Hollow Flash, less time intensive, and I don't think it was an easy process to get the Hollow Flash looking good. So that makes sense. 25 guitars total across all available colours and configurations. So I'm guessing that means 75 of the old school and then 75 of the new school. That makes sense, which would bring it to 150, obviously, which is 50 more than the last run, which is really good because that tells us that the Hollow Flash has probably been going really well and they haven't had any hold-ups and that kind of thing. So they've got their processes smoothed out, so that's a really good sign. So they say they could do the occasional relaunch as well. It's not like the Hollow Flash or the Red Line where it's just one and that was it. I suppose it depends on the interest. So it says that they expect the finished custom coloured guitars to start shipping mid to late summer 2024. That's not very long. That's very quick, actually. So if we have a quick look at the website, it's under 2 sections. You've got the GX1 New School and the GX1 Old School. I think the main obvious differences between the 2 runs are the New School has a non-lock-in, ironically more sort of vintage style tremolo, and a maple neck that hasn't been tinted. And the differences on the old school version are mainly a lock-in tremolo and a tinted maple neck. The lock-in tremolo that they're using is the Goto GE 1996T, which is an unbelievable tremolo. So for some reason, it's like a third of the price of a Floyd Rose, but it's literally just as good, if not better, than any of the Floyd Rose options. I don't really understand why it's so affordable when compared, but I'm definitely not complaining because my Floyd Rose specials and 1000 series, they're all getting upgraded to these Goto trams because they're just so good. So it looks like both the new school and the old school guitars will be coming with the lock-in tuners, and a lot of people are going to be like, what's the point in having lock-in tuners on something with a double lock-in tremolo? And they might be right. Maybe the small amount of extra surcharge for this kind of thing isn't worth it for them. But for me, just for the faster string changes alone, you've got enough to deal with on a double lock and tremolo. You don't need the extra hassle. So for me, for the convenience, it's well worth going for the lock-in tuners on the old school version. So they both come with the same pickup configuration, same pickups, same stainless steel frets on both. So stainless steel on the new school, and just nickel silver frets on the old school. I can see why they would do that. It makes sense because if they're trying to be more sort of authentic to what would be available in the 80s, that would be how it was. I suppose you could argue the lock-in tuners wouldn't have been a thing, but I'm happy to turn a blind eye to the lock-in tuners just for the convenience alone. I think it's a good upgrade. And they both come with a premium G&G case, hard case. And I've seen videos on the case, and it is a really good quality case. Personally, this is just my preference would be not to come with a case. At this point, I've got so many cases, so many high-quality gig bags, like the mono gig bags, the Gator higher-end gig bags. That's the preference for me. I'm not going to have it hidden away in a case. It's either going to be up on the wall, or it's going to be off out to a gig and in a gig bag, a good gig bag. But that's just me. It looks like all the rest of it, all the same good quality electronics and hardware, the same as the previous GX ones. I'm not one for red guitars at all, but this red, it does look pretty cool, especially with the tinted neck. And it looks like they've gone for the BGC logo on the 12th fret, which I think on a previous model they were going, had like the planet Saturn, and I can't remember what was on the GX1, but obviously it doesn't add any kind of functionality, but definitely aesthetically it kind of gives it a bit more of a premium look. So I can see why they chose to do that instead of just going for like 2 dots or something. So the colours are called Arrest Me Red, White Wedding Pearl, and Gunmetal Grey. That's pretty funny. If I was to pick one of these models that I would want, which I do want, but I'm not going to buy, unfortunately, I would pick the old school configuration. I'd pick the White Wedding Pearl colour because I think that would really pop on the stage and on video as well, seeing as that's something that I've started to consider doing the YouTube thing. Actually, let me check this. The fingerboard radius of the old school is 14 inches. I wonder if they've changed the fingerboard radius of the new school. No, that's 14 inches as well. That could be somewhere that they could differentiate between the two models, maybe. Not that I'm complaining or anything. I'm just saying that maybe that could be something. I don't know which way you would go, though. Like, so the new school, would that be flatter or would that be rounder? Because they've gone with a more vintage style tremolo on the new school. But then in the early 80s, they were like modifying strats and had a rounder fretboard, and then eventually they started getting flatter and flatter, didn't they? So they could be different, just to have a little bit more difference between them, really. I would love to buy one of these guitars, but it's a bit out of my price range at the moment. So hopefully at some point down the line, I'll be able to get one of these. For the moment, unfortunately, I won't be able to. Even though that white one, it's on the screen, it's staring at me, it's saying, buy me, buy me. I did actually try to buy some of their pickups on their Black Friday sale. I wanted to put it in maybe with my Charvel or Schecter or something sort of locking tremmy and 80s and shreddy-ish, and I just wanted to hear how it sounded, really. But unfortunately, I went through to the payment, and it was like, no, we don't ship to the UK. So that was a shame, because I would really have liked to try that out. But hopefully they get that sorted out at some point, because I'd really like to at least get my hands on the pickups and try them out, because I've got a feeling that they're going to be really like the kind of thing that I go for and look for in pickups. I'm sorry. So rude. Just turn that off. Oh, this is weird. Phil's calling me. Send him to voicemail. So yeah, hopefully they get that sorted out, because I really genuinely would like to get my... I'm really sorry. I'm usually a lot more professional and prepared than this, and I usually have the phone on airplane mode. It's a voicemail. It's from Phil. Should we listen to it? Yes, let's listen to it.
Hey Jake, it's Phil McKnight here. Man, I loved your work with Ozzy Osbourne. How the hell did you get all those sounds without a Floyd?
Oh, this is awkward. He thinks I'm the other Jake Lee.
Anyway, you know how you said that my guitars are kind of expensive? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send one over to you. You can review it, you can play it, ideally playing some Ozzy stuff. You can have dinner on it, whatever you want. And after you're done, you can keep it. Have a good McKnight. And as always, know your gear. Take care, buddy.
Wow. Speechless. Did you hear that? He said I can have my own Badlands. He's so generous. Speechless. Wow. So hopefully this at least puts this guitar on a few other people's radars that weren't aware of it before. They probably were, but even I hopefully it helps in some kind of way. Because in a world of Harley Bentons and disappointing Ibanez's and Schecters that are shaped like cutting implements, this is what we need. This is a glimmer of hope. They're fun guitars. They're the kind of guitars that I'm really into, and hopefully you're into them as well. Let me know down below what you think about this guitar. I did make a video previously about their GX1 Hollow Flash, which is just there. There's no point in watching it because you can't buy them anymore, but watch it anyway because it helps me out, and please subscribe if you want to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.